So now many companies put the value of their brands on their balance sheet. So when people go for pitching, and somebody say, oh, I want to get a loan, or I want to get a, what do they call this thing? Is it loan? Not loan. I want to get investment. I want to get an investor to invest in my business. My business is worth $270,000. What they put there is the value of their brand. It is not the products that they have. You might see some of them, if you've watched all of this Shark Tank thing, you see some of them, not Shark Tank, this dragon stuff on YouTube. And if you see some of them, maybe some of them have never even created the product safe. Some already have the product going, and they just have a few of them, and they say their brand is worth $270,000. And you're like, hello, what's going on here? So why is it that the value of the brand is what people put on their balance sheet and not necessarily the product? This is because a brand outlives its product. A brand outlives its product, but because products have life cycles, but your brand do not necessarily have life cycles. So brands are valuable, and they convey a uniform quality, credibility, and experience. That is why when Elon Musk acquired Twitter for $44 billion, he didn't buy the algorithm. He didn't buy Twitter space. He didn't pay that much amount of money because he wants to access Twitter space. He wants to access tweets. He wants to access all of these things. No. He could have just easily built something, and he would spend way less than $44 billion if he decides to build something like Twitter on its own, right? And come and bring it up as a competition. So why did he buy Twitter? It's the same reason why Stripe, when Stripe acquired Paystack, he acquired Paystack for like $200 million. Why did you think Stripe paid that much amount of money? Stripe is already a payment integration platform. They could easily just spend way less than that and build something that thing that they needed Paystack for, and build it into their own integration system. So why did you think that Stripe will spend that amount of money, or Elon Musk will spend that amount of money, right, to buy these platforms when they could like easily just build something and spend way less and bring it up as a competition? Now you may be thinking, okay, if they didn't buy these things because of the products, you know, why then are they buying these companies? They are buying the beliefs and the experiences that these companies have put into people, and not just the product that they are selling. Paystack is not the only payment integration platform. Stripe could have just bought something else. But because it is beyond brand, a brand is beyond just the product, right? It is beyond that. That is why these people could pay this much to buy this brand, to buy these companies. Why? Because they're not buying the product, they're not buying the factories, they're not buying the HQ. You know, they are buying the beliefs and experiences that these companies have put into people, and not the products that they are selling per se. Anyone can be selling that same product. But what everyone cannot be doing is the beliefs, the experiences, the culture, and the people that these companies have put together and built over the years. That is why when Elon Musk bought Twitter, the products didn't necessarily change. But the culture, the experiences, the beliefs change. And people started to feel resentment, you know, some kind of resentment towards Twitter. Like, everything is changing this Twitter, blah, 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 blah. A lot of people had different opinions. And guess what? The value of Twitter dropped when Elon Musk actually bought Twitter. From the point where he said, I want to buy Twitter, to the point where he bought the Twitter, and to this month of June, right? So when Elon Musk acquired Twitter in October 2022, the stock price dropped by about 37%, from a $54.20 acquisition price to $34.61 per stock, right? This was likely due to a number of factors. This could be uncertainty about Musk's plan for the company. It could also be concerns about financial implications of the deal or whatever. As of June 2023 right now, Twitter's stock price is trading as 33.21 per share. Something that started from 54 is now 33.21. So this represents a decline of about 40% from 54.20 acquisition price. Now, why do you think this stock price drop? Is it because Twitter is no longer providing the products that it used to provide? No. It's because there has been a shift in the beliefs, the culture, you know, the experiences that people who love Twitter, who invested in Twitter used to have. This idea, there's been this shift, and now Marx is trying to bring what he believes, his own, try to create a new kind of experience based on the idea that he has for this company that he's just acquired. And the existing people are not having it, and this is why this stock is dropping. Well, it may come up later, it may even get worse. We do not know yet. So your brand is not only what people say about you when you're not there, it is also what sets you apart. So in a nutshell, a brand is more of what you do, the beliefs and the experiences that you put into people. Now today, Jack is no longer at Twitter, but the brand still lives. Twitter still lives. Its longevity is, however, not dependent on the products that they are going to create or the product that they are not going to create. But it is dependent on how well the new government, the new administrator, or the new acquisition people, the new people that acquire Twitter, how well they will be able to keep or improve the culture that has been made, that has the existing culture that we have. So now you might be asking, so how do you create a brand that outlives you? How do you do it? How do you do it? Are you guys following me? Are you guys following me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
All right, amazing, amazing. So how do you not create a brand that outlives you? I know I've explained all of these things: Twitter, Elon Musk, Stripe, Paystack. How do you do your own? I'm going to be using Isaac Newton as an example. Some say that Isaac Newton discovered gravity. Some others argue that gravity was already there. Isaac Newton did not discover it. Okay, let's assume that Isaac Newton did not discover gravity. Gravity was already there, blah, blah, blah. But what actually brought the idea of gravity to us? Like, how did we eventually know about gravity? It's because Isaac Newton actually communicated it to us and sold us this idea that we believe in. And right now, we are teaching it in our physics class. You know, even in general terms, people still use gravity. And people believe in this thing. Why? Because Isaac Newton was able to sell us that idea. Now, what does your brand have to do with Newton's theory? What does it have to do with Newton's theory? Newton's theory and your brand both revolve around something that already exists. If you don't know, your brand already exists. You already have a brand. But maybe people don't know about it yet. And this is because of your inability to articulate it. People don't know about this. If you don't buy into whatever thing you're doing yet, is because you have been unable to communicate that thing. Why do we love Twitter? Because Twitter has been able to communicate to us this idea, this belief that is now inside of us. For me, for example, if I want to buy noodles, I buy Indomie. And specifically, I buy the Indomie table. Why do I buy it? It's not that there are no other Indomies that are nice or that taste good. I've tasted some other Indomies. In fact, I used to love Super Pack. But over time, I just realized that there is something about Indomie tables. There is something about Indomie tables. And we are going to get there as we begin to go on. And if I go to the supermarket and I don't see Indomie tables, I don't buy anything else. I do not buy anything else aside Indomie tables. And there are so many other products as well. If you think about yourself as two, there are so many things that you buy right now, so many people that you buy from right now, not necessarily because you cannot get it elsewhere, but because of certain things. That you've so I stopped buying something from a lady in my area recently because something happened. I do not entirely something happened between me and her, and the way she handled that situation, I don't like it. I didn't like it at all. And that turned me off. That turned me off totally, and I stopped buying from her. I went back to where I used to buy stuff. Now, why? Because the idea she sold to me that made me stop buying things from where I used to buy things is not just because she sells cheaper. I can actually go to the supermarket and I will get cheaper. But I thought about other factors. But then she sold me this idea that, oh, this person is actually a good person, blah, 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 blah. And that's why I started buying from her. But when that idea changed, I retrieved my step. And I said, no, I don't want to be associated with this person or this business anymore. And that's what is happening to Twitter right now. Where you see some of these things, their stock is now dropping and all of those things, right? So just as Isaac Newton was able to show that gravity works, that is what you need to do to build a brand that outlives you. You just need to show the world that your brand works. And how do you do that? The formula is simple. To show your brand is equals to 4 P's times DNA. 4 P's times DNA. That is what your brand is. That is the first part of it. 4 P's times DNA. And what is the 4 P's? The 4 P's is your product, is your price, your promotions and placements multiplied by your business DNA. Now, remember I said the product, the whatever is not what makes a brand outlives you. What makes a brand outlives you is the business DNA. Right? The most important thing is the DNA. Why? Because your brand could equal anyone else's brand. We can have similar products, similar promotions sold in the same places, similar marketing strategies. But one thing that we cannot have is the same DNA. No two brands can be exactly the same thing. Let me give you an example. So think about this car. I'm going to use 2 vehicles, which are products. They are physical products, right? Subaru, I don't know if that's how they pronounce it. Subaru car and the Volvo brand. Those 2 brands. They both build safe vehicles. They are priced, promoted, and placed similarly. But one thing that is different between these 2 brands is the DNA. The only relative difference is the DNA. The Subaru has family-focused DNA, while the Volvo has design-centric DNA. While Volvo is focused on design, all of those things, the other one is focused more on family. Because also when you look at the size and the features and everything that's inside, those are things that tells you, okay, this is what we are focused on. Even how they position themselves, how they do their marketing, how they sell their products, right, shows that this is how we are. And these are 2 successful brands. They are both successful in their own way, right? So now you might not be asking me, okay, Ella, what is this DNA? What is this DNA that makes my brand outlives me? The DNA, I'm going to classify them into, I'm just going to make a list, 5 lists. I'll just make 5 lists. The first one is your brand message. So in order for you to be able to build a brand that outlives you, you need to be able to create a message. Remember I said Isaac Newton, we didn't believe in gravity or didn't even know anything about gravity until Isaac Newton was able to effectively communicate how gravity works. He sold us that idea, right? And then we believed it. And then we say, oh wow, gravity is this, gravity is that. Gravity is when you throw something up and then it goes down and then it does not go up. All of those things, all of those ideas came from the messaging. So if you want to be able to build a brand that lives, you need to work on your brand DNA. And the first thing in your brand DNA is to clarify your message. So your brand message is simply how you intend to serve and help your audience. For me, I like to say that what impact will your business be providing its customers? So someone says they sell, let me look at the comments again. Someone say here that they sell footwear, right? Someone said that they sell footwear. That is their brand. That is what they sell. But that is not your brand worth. That is not what your brand. Anybody selling footwear, how can this brand outlive you? Let me use somebody as an example. I don't know if you know, she doesn't sell footwear, but she sells something similar. Fine Funky, right? So Fine Funky is somebody who's, if today, let's say Fine Funky sells that brand, Fine Funky, and maybe she's not the face of the brand anymore, right? People will still go and buy from her. People will still go and buy from Fine Funky. Not necessarily because, oh, Fine Funky things are cheap. There are other people that sells cheap things. But because of the idea that Fine Funky has put into people's mind from that her brand that she's built, because of her messaging, she has been able to create this brand that even if she's not in the picture, people will still buy with that name, Fine Funky. Now, so the question is, what is the impact you're giving to people? What is that impact that you're delivering to whoever you're going to be targeting, even if you're selling footwear? So you're selling footwear. The first question you want to ask yourself, in order for you to have that clarity of the impact that you provide, is who are the people that you want to sell this footwear for? If you're a digital creator, you're a service provider, you are a web developer, who are the people you want to design, you want to start developing web stuff for? Who are you want to start designing for? You need to have that clarity first. Why do you need to have that clarity? When you have this clarity, you will be able to distinguish yourself. I'm coming. I'm going to be tying everything together. You're going to be seeing them. You're going to be seeing everything connecting together as we go on, right? You'll be able to distinguish yourself. You'll be able to create that brand that people love. You'll be able to sell the idea that you have of your brand. If you do not clarify this, if you don't understand your audience, if you just say, oh, I'm selling shoes, and just come, anybody that wants to buy footwear, oh yeah, just come and be buying, I'm selling footwear. As far as say you need footwear. There's nobody that does not wear footwear on this planet Earth. There's nobody that does not wear footwear on planet Earth. Yes, everybody wear footwear on planet, but there's the thing. There's something you fail to understand. There are people who do not just wear any kind of footwear. For me, for example, I like to pay for my luxury and comfort a lot. I'd rather pay for Uber to take me to where I'm going to and not stress myself than to go and stand in the bus stop and be hustling for bus. Now they are all transportation. Imagine the conductor or the conductor or the driver that is driving a bus say, oh, anybody that wants to go anywhere, those are the people that I carry. Or Uber says anybody that wants to go anywhere are the people that will transport to wherever they want to go. There are people who feel like, oh, spending money on Uber is too expensive. But people like me, I don't feel that way because it's my comfort. So that is why you need to first of all understand your audience. The conductor cannot say, well, anybody where won't go anywhere, carry go anywhere. For someone like me, I feel like it is not for me. Right? So that is the essence the reason why you need to first of all understand why you're selling that footwear. There are people who are only selling designer footwear. Yes, for me, there are people who are only selling designer footwear. People who want to buy designers, who want to buy Fendi, who want to buy whatever. I don't know footwear brands, but let me not go and slap my mouth. But yeah, those are the people. So you need to now ask yourself, what kind of people are you trying to sell this your product to? Are these people who are looking for affordable products that they can buy within a specific range because of their income level? Are these people who are looking for durability? Are these people who are looking for luxury? Are the people that you want to serve? Do they want comfort? Do they want something that they will be able to I don't know, can you guys still hear me? Am I still here? Okay, I think I'm still here.
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
So do they want something that these people that you want to sell footwear to, do they want something that they can get at the luxury of their home? Or something that they can just come to the market and then they pick it? Is it for people that have big legs? There are people that find it very hard to find their shoe size. Are these the people that you want to make it easy for? That even if your leg is big, it's hard for you to find your shoe size. If you come to the footwear hub, there is no shoe size on planet Earth that you will not find. Is that the message you want to communicate? Are these the people that you want to sell to? The reason why you need to understand these people is so that you will know how to create the experience for them. So that you know how to show up for them. So that you know how to package your product for them. You see how this is going beyond your product. So that you know how to sell the idea of this brand that you are building to them. That is why you need to understand. And some of you might say, oh, okay, how do I begin knowing this my audience? If I ask you people here, now who is your ideal boyfriend or your ideal man or your ideal woman? You have a bucket list. You can write 1 million things about the ideal man that you want. But when I ask you who is your ideal audience, I don't know where to find them. No, it starts from you. You have to be the first person to tell me who your ideal audience is. You have to first of all be able to tell me, okay, this is who my ideal audience is. You have to first of all tell me based on what you're trying to do, because before you start your brand, you need to first of all just sit and ask yourself, what am I trying to do? Okay, I'm trying to sell this. Okay, which people fit into this thing that I'm trying to do? That is the same way when you say, oh, I'm a fine girl. My ideal man, he should be God-fearing. He should have money. I cannot date a broke guy. A guy that is not well-to-do. I cannot. The same thing you have to tell yourself. Oh, me, I cannot say to people that don't have money, that don't want comfort. I cannot serve broke people. You know, that does not mean you're trying to shade other people, but it just means that you're trying to now you're trying to streamline your messaging and attract only the people that you are going to serve. So even if you're offering services, this applies as well. Even if you're offering services, all right, this same structure applies. So once you are now clear, okay, this is the kind of people I want to serve, then the next thing you're now going to ask yourself, where do I find them? So that is where you can now be asking, okay, where can I find them online? That's where you can ask, okay, I want big food size people, or people who want comfort. Where can you find these people online? What people are they following? What people are they following that talks about class, that talks about comfort, that has this messaging that you are trying to portray, that portrays them to their audience already, that already have large followers? Where can you find these people online? You go and start finding them. And based on your age range, okay, I want to sell to people between 18 and 25. Where do these people spend more time? What platform? Is it Instagram? Is it Twitter? Is it TikTok? Is it LinkedIn? You know, if for example you sell corporate wares, right? You can find more. You cannot be going to TikTok to go and be selling your corporate wares. I'm not saying that you will not sell. Oh. You will sell, but the possibility that you are going to sell more is on platforms like Instagram and LinkedIn. Maybe even LinkedIn more. People think LinkedIn is only for when you're looking for a corporate job. If you sell corporate wares, you can actually sell on LinkedIn. Yes, I'm telling you this for a fact. Right? There's a way you sell to people on LinkedIn, because those are the people who are going there because of work. You know, and Instagram is also another beautiful place to sell your corporate wares as well. So that is why you need to first of all understand the audience that you want to serve. You first of all decide based on what you want to do, right? Based on what you're trying to do, based on the idea you're trying to sell to people. So Isaac Newton saw gravity and was like, oh, gravity is this. And it's okay, how can I sell this idea to people? Right? And then that was how it all came about. So you have to first of all identify the thing you want to do, how you want to do it, and then ask yourself, who are the people I want to sell this idea to? Right? Then the next thing is now impact, under clarifying your brand message. What is the impact you are selling to these people? What is the idea that you're selling to these people? So I want you to look at the thing that you want to sell, the people that you want to sell it to, right? And look at the skills that you have that can help you achieve this thing for these people. Right, and come up with a simple sentence. What is the impact that? So for somebody that sell footwear, for example, maybe let's say the footwear you sell caters to, especially to people who have big size, people who feel like, oh, they can't find their shoe size that easily, right? You can say the footwear hub, the impact that you provide, the impact that the footwear hub provide is to is to provide you quality shoes, no matter the size of your leg. Like help you get your quality shoes easily, right? No matter the size, no matter your shoe size. No need for you to start walking up and down, going from different places to look for your shoe size. That can be the impact that you provide. If you are a web developer, for example, right? What is the impact? If you provide web developing services for people, what is the result, right? So the impact as a web developing brand could be, oh, we help people create websites to help them build more credibility, professionalism, and trust, because that is what website actually does for people. So think about the results that you are going to be providing for this audience that you're not clear on, right? Think about the result you're going to be providing for this audience that you're not clear on, all right? And then tailor it to the skills that you have to provide it, and then say it. You don't necessarily have to say, oh, we provide web development service, we provide web development service, we provide this one service. You don't have to say all of those things. And you can even be selling footwear, selling bags, selling shoes. You can be selling all of those plenty things, and you don't have to now be confusing people. You can just have that single impact and say, oh, the hub place makes it easy for you to find, will beautify you and create ease, or makes it easy for you to find whatever thing you need, things you need, will beautify you to find whatever thing, no matter your body size. This has covered shoe size, body size, or whatever thing. You see how that has covered clothes, shoes, bags, or whatever thing, you know. So that is how you can now create your impact. But first of all, you need to understand what you're trying to do. What are you trying to sell? What is that thing you're trying to sell? You're trying to sell shoes. This shoe that you're trying to sell, who are the people you are looking or likely to solve? Mostly, you can get this answer by looking at the gap in the market. What is this thing that people are always complaining about when it comes to footwears? Is this something that my footwear brand provides, right? So who are the people you want to do it for? Where can I find these people? Who are the people that these people are already following that has similar or message that is already conveying a message that is similar to mine? All right. So if you sell corporate wears, for example, you don't only have to go to people who sell corporate wears page to find people who are your ideal audience. You can go to pages of people who talk about career paths. They have career people on their page. You can go to pages of people, if what you preach is luxury and comfort, you don't necessarily have to only go to pages and you sell footwear. You don't necessarily have to go to pages of people who sell similar things as footwear and clothes and bags. You can go to pages of people who preaches comfort, luxury, all of those things as well, and you will still find the audience there because that is what they are looking for as well. Now, what is the essence of finding all of these people in these places? So that you will know where to go and start selling this idea to them. What is the essence of knowing this audience? So that you will go and start knowing how to solve their problem. So if you know the audience you want to serve, if you know that, oh, it's corporate people that I want to serve, you go and start asking yourself, brainstorming, researching, carry a survey, ask corporate people what they struggle with when it comes to finding their footwears. If it's plus size people, ask them what they struggle when it comes to being plus size, right? If it's coaches that you want to help to build credibility and all with their website, you will start looking for these people, start knowing what they are struggling with, do surveys, do social listening, do social hearing, hear what they are saying, and see how you can now tailor this into your brand messaging. All right, and create that impact. So that's why you need the audience research first before you create the impact or whatever thing you're doing. So that's going to be your brand message or the overall thing that you're trying to portray. So if you see Coca-Cola, what the message that Coca-Cola is trying to portray here is that your goal is making a positive impact on the world, right? So what they are trying to do is a positive emotions that the drink can evoke, right? It is more than a beverage, but it is a way to connect with others and make memories. That is what Coca-Cola is trying to portray. They're trying to say that, okay, we make a positive impact in the world. It is more than just a drink. It is a way to connect with others and make memories. If you look at all of Coca-Cola's adverts, most times they do it either with family or with people that you love or creating memories. Why? Because that is the message that they're trying to portray. That is what they're trying to say to you. Even though people say Coca-Cola is one thing, Coca-Cola is that thing, Coca-Cola is very good at, conveying this message that, okay, no matter what you say about us, but this is the message that we are trying to portray. That with Coca, share a Coke. There was a time they even did a campaign that they said share a Coke. They will start writing names of different people. They can go and buy Coke. You see your name, they're Lucky. You see BC, you see Bola. That campaign really helped them a lot because it further, portrayed that message. Like, oh, with Coca-Cola, you create memories, you feel like you belong. There are a lot of people who bought Coke for different people because, oh, their name is here. And people felt that those experiences and those memories. I even know somebody who bought Coca-Cola for a girl that he was crushing on because Coca-Cola has the girl's name on it. And it was really fun. Coca-Cola has done their job. They've been able to convey that singular message that they have about their brand. And that is the message that people have in their mind up until now. They've gone ahead to create different kind of products under Coca-Cola, but that's still the message that Coca-Cola has. All right, so that is about clarifying your brand message. Now, the next thing is it doesn't stop there. Now you know the impact, you know your audience. It doesn't stop there. It doesn't just stop there because if you want your brand to outlive you, you will need to be able to create something in people's mind that makes them think about you. You need to be able to create something in people's mind that sets you apart. And this brings us to the second point, which is your values. Are you guys following? Are you guys following here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Is this making sense?
Of course you are. Of course you are making sense, man.
All right, amazing. So now the second thing, after you've clarified your brand message, now you know your audience, you know the impact that you are providing for your audience. I used to see a lot of people used to say, let me go back to that impact. People will say, I will help you create a website. I will help you create amazing designs, you know, for your brand. Those are really good things. Those are really great bangers to come up with. But those are not like, is not speaking directly to the problem that you're solving. So after this session, I want you to go back and start whatever. When somebody asks you what you do, don't say, I help you create websites to sell your products. Think about the impact. What is the result that the website that you're creating for people, what is the result that it brings? Start thinking about that impact. So for example, oh, I help you create a website that helps your brand be professional, you know, build credibility, you know, and increase trust for your audience. Because when you have a website, especially for people who want to work with companies, so if a coach, for example, wants to start working with companies, right, they need to start thinking about websites. Because when you want to go and pitch to those companies, you need to start thinking about website that has case studies, portfolios, everything about them. The website will not say send me your Instagram account. Even if they still send me your Instagram account, right, that will not be the only thing. They want to see proof of things that you've done. And you will not seem professional, somebody that is up to the task, if you don't have a website. That is the result of a website. So if you're a web developer, start bringing this impact in. Put them as front of your brand messaging, and not necessarily say, no, I help you create a website in 10 days. I help you create a fast website to sell your product. That is not really the key, right? So that's one thing I also want to say about impact, right? So the next thing is values. So what really sets you apart aside that impact? Because now the thing is, you may not be the only one that is selling for plus size. You may not be the only one that is going for comfort. You may not be the only one that is trying to help people build webs to be professional, build credibility with their brand. You know, so what is that thing that will not make you, that set you apart from another brand that is doing something similar? That is your values. That's your values. What do you believe in as a person that should reflect through your brand? How many times your value are shaped? Many times your value are shaped by your life experiences, by your background, by your beliefs and your aspiration. Yes, that's what value, that's what shapes most of these things. So if you say that, oh, you want to start selling a product that sells for every kind of body size, that is inclusivity. You are trying to create this inclusiveness in your brand, right? That could be one of your value. I mean, there may be, if you look at it, if you take it back, there may be a reason why you are choosing inclusivity. It could be either because maybe from experience you've suffered from getting something that is your size, or maybe you had somebody who experienced that, and you just feel like, why should I have to go through all of these things before I'm able to see my size because I'm a plus size? Or because why do people have to go through, maybe you're not even plus size, maybe you've seen people experience that, and you'd be like, because of this experience, let me create something that caters to everybody. Or why do I have to struggle to get my size because I'm very, very small, I'm size 6, or I'm even less than 6. You know, all of these things are beliefs, experiences, and aspirations, and what you strive to be. Oh, okay, I think this is what I want to create. This is the dream that I have. Because of this thing, this is what I want to do. This is my brand. Two people cannot be thinking of the same thing the same way. Sometimes even your life experiences can shape your brand value. So you need to think about what you believe in. Look at your experiences, look at your backgrounds, look at your beliefs. So this brand that you want to build, this business that you want to build, what actually led you here? Ask yourself those questions. Think back to your experiences. Think back to your background. Think back to the things that you strongly hold, like you have strong beliefs in. Then think forward to the aspirations that you have, the dream that you have, right? So for me, for example, inclusivity, empathy is one thing that is my brand value. Empathy is my brand value. And what is empathy? Empathy is just simply seeing things from the point of view of people, like trying to put yourself in people's shoes at every point in time before you actually judge them or decide on something. And why is that my brand value? Why did I decide empathy as my brand value? Why did I put that as my brand value? It's based on the experiences I have had as a child while growing up. You know, based on the experiences I've had as a child while growing up. So I grew up with my aunt, and for her, when things happen, we can't even speak up. When I was growing up with my aunts, you can't really speak up and say, oh, this thing happened to me, that thing. Before you even say anything, they don't shut you down. Everything you say, you are always in the wrong. They don't want to know what happened. You're always in the wrong. And so that actually keeps me really reserved. I don't share stuff. I don't share things because I don't want people to misquote me or misunderstand me, right? That shaped that. And it kind of shaped who I am. Like, every time people say something, I tell myself I don't want to make people feel this way that I have felt while growing up. Because of that, I try to always put myself in people's shoes. And it exemplifies in how I create my content, in how I serve my clients, in how I deliver my customer experiences. All of these things, they all exemplify in the things that I do. So the easy way to do this right now is write a sentence. You can write them in sentences. Or what do you believe in? What experiences have shaped your life? What are beliefs, what aspirations do you have that relates to the audience that you're trying to serve and the impact you're trying to provide this audience, right? What are these things, right, that can actually help you stand out in your business? So that is why I chose empathy as one of my brand values. Another person might choose empathy because of another reason, right? Another thing in my brand value is simplicity. Yes, simplicity is another thing in my brand value. I understand things very easily, and when I explain things, I try to explain in the most best simple way. And I have seen that even while I was growing up. While I was growing up, I used to gather children. I'll use my stipend to buy chalk and books, and I'll teach them, and they will understand. Even while in university, I used to have these classes. I'll teach even people that are higher levels than I am, maybe things that I know, and they will understand better than what they understood in class. And because of that, I'll be, oh, okay, I can actually explain things easy to people and people would really get it. I actually break it down and it will make sense. And simplicity is now part of my brand value. So how do I implement that, right? I implement that in how I set up my processes. So if you want to buy something from me, the process you go through is simple. When you work with me, I take you through a very simple process. When I try to create content, I break down my content in a simple process. When I try to sell to you, the experience that you get is very simple. So you see how this is now differentiating me from people that are doing exactly the same thing as me. You see how this is differentiating me? So even if you are selling shoes, you are selling bags, you are selling this, write out different things that shaped you, that brought you to this SNY, to the point where you are doing this business. And then pick the top 5 sentences and find a word that can represent these 5 sentences. Each word, and have 5 brand values. These brand values are things that will not set you apart, are things that will not guide you into implementing the impact and serving the audience that you have decided on. You get? So that is the second thing, right? And then another thing, the brand value. After you've had your brand value, you can now go ahead and write your mission and your vision. What do you aim to do with all these things that you're doing right now in your business? And what is the future that you see, that the solution that you're trying to provide? The solution you're trying to provide, what is the future that you're trying to build with this solution? That is the vision and the mission and all of that. Then the third thing is personality. Now, your values and your impact and knowing your audience is not enough to build a brand that outlives you, right? You need to create a personality for your brand. Create a personality for your brand. It is this personality that will now sit in the mind of your audience. It is this personality that will now sit, the personality, the values, and everything put together, that will not sit in the mind of your audience. Even if you sell that brand tomorrow, so long it still has that name, people will still buy from that brand, right? So now this personality, the way to do it is to understand which archetype your brand is. So I'm not going to really go deep into that, but I'll try my best to explain. There are 12 archetypes. So after this session, go and Google brand archetypes. So there are 12 archetypes and every brand should portray at least 1 to 3 out of those 12. Every brand should portray 1 to 3 out of those 12 archetypes. Why? So now, why did I bring this? Now, this personality is not your personality as a person. It is your personality as a brand. Now, remember that there are some people who there's people you just say, I don't like the way this person used to do. This person used to behave weird, and I don't think our energy, I don't like this person's energy. Nah. The same way, when people see your brand, they say, I don't like this brand. I don't want to associate with this brand. There are so many brands that I did not buy from just because of, I feel like I don't like their energy. I don't like the vibe. Let me use that word, vibe. I don't like the vibe that this brand is giving. This brand is giving this kind of vibe that I don't really like. You know, that is what personality is all about. So if you are not conscious, you have to consciously decide on the personality that you want to portray for people to be able to buy into the idea that you're trying to sell. That is where personality comes in. And usually, your personality also comes from your values, your beliefs, your experiences, and everything. That's why I talked about values first, right? So when you read the 12 archetypes, which is the 12 brand archetypes, right? Google 12 archetypes. Read each and every one of them. You will see yourself inside them. You will see yourself inside the archetypes. And when you read the 12, then highlight the top 3 from that 12. Highlight the top 3 archetypes from that 12. I'm going to explain a few of them using myself as an example. Highlight the top 3 archetypes from that 12 archetypes that you are going to be reading about. All right. And then ask yourself, out of these top 3, which one actually aligns with my values more? Which one aligns with my values more? Which one speaks more for me? Which one speaks more about what I really want people to see this brand as? The definitions are there. Once you have that, then the other 2 will now be your sub. The other 2 are not going to be your sub archetype that you can just be adding to whatever thing you're doing. So let me tell you what my archetype is. My brand, let me go to Google and try to bring up the archetype so that this actually makes better sense. 1 second, guys. Can I share my screen, Chijams? Can I share my screen?
Yes, you can. Just make it the host immediately.
Okay, let me try to share my screen so that you guys understand this. So that you guys understand this brand archetype really well. So let me try to share my screen. Okay. I want to. Okay, I think I can share my screen now. Yeah. Okay. I want to bring up the link. The link to the archetype page. All right. Let's see. All right. I think I have it. Okay. Now let me share my screen. Share. Okay. Let me know when you can see my screen. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can see it right now.
All right. So this is the link to the archetype page. The link is match. You can use this one. I really like this particular one because it broke it down in details. The link is matchbranding.com/boss/brand-archetypes. Match. Okay, let me put it in the comments in the link in the chat. Okay, let's see. That's the link to the archetype page, right? So there are 12 archetypes. I'm not going to go deep into how it was invented. You can read that later. So these are the 12 archetypes. All right. How are we going to see the screen now? Okay, the screen is on Zoom. So the 12 archetypes, we have creator, we have sage, we have caregiver, we have innocent, we have jester, we have magician, we have ruler, we have hero, we have everyman, we have the rebel, we have the explorer, and we have the lover. All right. So I am a sage, right? My key archetype is a sage. Okay, my key archetype is a sage because, so this is it. The sage archetype is a seeker of knowledge and wisdom and believes that truth will set you free. They do not look to change the world themselves, but prefer to empower others to do so by seeking out valuable information and sharing it. They are often lifelong learners and thought leaders and make excellent mentors. Right? If you look at the traits here, wisdom, intelligence, expertise, information, and influence. All right? So if you see, for me, if you know my brand, Digital Creator Chick, if you be following me, you know that my key message is empowerment, empowering people. And I think when Chijams was reading my bio, empowerment was part of what he read. That is my key message. That is the key thing that I believed in, because and this all also came from my experience and the aspiration that I have for this business that I'm building. This came from my experience and the aspiration I have for this business that I am building. What is this experience that made me become a sage? So while growing up, I've always, my father wanted us, like everybody, all of his children actually, we always believe that education is the key of things. That also boils down to my background. And aside that, I have seen how much education, and I love to seek knowledge. I see how much education has made a difference in the life of so many people, how much the right information, having access to the right information, the right knowledge have made a difference in the lives of so many people, and even in my own life as well, right? And because of that belief, I so much believe that if you have the right access to the right information, you have access to the right knowledge, there is nothing you cannot achieve in this life. And that's what has brought me this far, and that's what I believe in. And because of that, the sage archetype is my key archetype, is my key personality. And now, that's not the only reason why. The other reason why the sage archetype is my key personality as my brand is because what I'm trying to build, the idea I am trying to sell for my brand, the idea I'm trying to sell to people for my brand, is that when you have the right resources, you have access to the right knowledge, you can do anything. The idea I'm selling is monetization. You can be able to monetize and make money from your brand if you have clarity, and that clarity comes from having the right knowledge, having the right information, and getting the right direction. That is why I am a sage. That is the first thing. And the way I exemplify this in my brand, I teach people, I share value, I empower people, I give people information that they need to monetize. That is the key thing for me. Now, the second of my archetype as a brand is the magician. Right? That is the second one. I don't really exemplify this as much as I portray. I don't really portray this as much as I portray the sage. But this is also part of it. The magician archetype is a visionary that wants to dazzle their audience with new and exciting experiences and make dreams come true. They like to take their followers on a mystical journey and provide them with magical moments that stick in their memory. Magicians savor knowledge, you see that, but prefer to use it to realize their vision than share it directly. So you see, the trait here is transformation, idealistic, insightful. So if you look at this is something that I also portray in my brand as well. I try to let people understand that you can actually make money from your brand. Your dreams can come true. That dream of making money, and this also boils down from my background of how I grew up, not having access to money, not being able to have the basic things of life, and it is this mindset that I have that, knowledge actually gave me these things, all right? And because knowledge gave me these things, knowledge is my first archetype. But then I want to also make people understand that your dream can also come true. So magician is now my second archetype. So by the time you read through all of these things, you can see where you fall, even if you sell physical products. So let me use Netflix as an example. A brand that sells entertainment, right? Netflix, they are jesters. Netflix is a jester. Why are they a jester? Let me show you the meaning of a jester. Where is jester? So jester wants to make people laugh and bring lightheartedness to all that they do. Jester brands maintain a playful stance and see good in every situation. That's what Netflix is. If you go and tag Netflix on Twitter, for example, and say, hey Netflix, I don't know what is happening, my subscription is no longer working, is it that village people are following me, or something is going on? Netflix will not say, send a DM first. Netflix will tell you that it's like your village people are actually following you. That's why your Netflix is not working. They will try to put this playfulness inside before they now finally maybe try to help you solve the problem. But you cannot go and tell UBA and say, UBA, they debited my money, I'm not seeing it again. UBA will not tell you that. It's like your village people are remove your money from your account when they are not mad. My money. So, in order for you to choose your personality, you need to first of all think about what you're trying to build. UBA cannot do that because that's not what they're trying to build. You also need to think about the industry that you are in. You need to think about the people that you want to serve. And then you now need to think about your beliefs, your beliefs, your background, your experiences, and the impacts that you're trying to create in order for you to be able to decide the three archetypes or the three personalities that you want to portray. right? So once you choose the 3 top personalities, read through all of them. You're going to see them. Even if you sell physical products, you will find yourself inside here. Physical products, you can, even a sage, you can be a sage and still be selling physical products. So if you believe that education is something that still, having the right knowledge is something that helps people achieve whatever thing they can achieve, you can start educating people about your physical product, about the use of the product. If you're in skincare, if you're a skincare brand, for example, you can start focusing more on providing useful information and valuable resources that the people need to understand the power of taking care of their skin. The sage archetype can also work for that. So you see how it can work in different places. So when you have this, your personality in check, once you have your personality in check, then you not tie it to your brand values. So you will start exemplifying this through your content, through how you, the experiences you create for your audience, through how you show up, even in your branding. You start in your branding, like your logo, your colors, all of this, you start exemplifying them in all of these things that you do for your brand. No, I don't know if this is making sense for you guys. Is this making sense? Is this making sense, guys?
Yes, it is.
Amazing. So now we are done with personality. We are going to move to the final part, which is your brand positioning. Now you have your personality. You're not going to look at what sets you apart. So looking at your personality, looking at your brand values, looking at your brand impact, looking at the audience that you serve and how you serve them, what sets you apart. But in order for you to be able to tell what sets you apart, you now need to go and look at your competitions. Look at other people who sell footwears. How are you different from them? Look at other people who sell footwears. How are you different from these people? It could be a little thing. So you just need to just write a simple statement. Oh, what do you do for people? Who do you help? Who do you serve? How do you serve them? Which is your impact? So, your audience, who do you help? So I help creators who are struggling to money, who are always attracting freeloaders and who are always attracting freeloaders to their businesses, right? What do you help them do? I help them clarify their brand message and positioning so that they'll be able to do what? So that they'll be able to monetize, right? So now what is your differentiating factor? Unlike other brands, unlike other coaches, right? Unlike other coaches, my key focus is walking them through what they already have inside and then bringing it out, right? So I walk them through. The way I do it is I go through from inside out. I don't go through from outside out. I don't say, oh, work on your contents, work on your this, work on your that, before I now come and say, yeah, go back inside. I walk you through. I have a program, a 14 days challenge that I always do. I walk people through where we do the in-depth research. You search through you find your personal clarity, you find your brand clarity, and from there you are able to know what you can give. So it's from what you have inside that you can find what you can give outside. That is how I help people monetize. That is my differentiating factor. I will not necessarily say I've seen people do it the exact way I do it. That is my differentiation. So if you sell footwear, so I help plus size people find I help plus size people, or I help corporate people, or I help females find the struggles to find their body size outfits, find the outfits for their body size without at their comfort, at their comfort. Unlike other brands where you will have to, unlike other brands where you have to struggle before you find your size, where you have to go through different pictures or through different things, or like other brands where you have to see what you like but you don't have your size, but for our brand we have sizes for everybody. We have sizes for everybody. That could be your positioning statement, so if you are a brand that sells clothes only for corporates, right? Your positioning statement can be, we help to make you look elegant in the workplace. Unlike other brands unlike other brands that sells different things, right? Once you come to us, you get exactly what you're looking for, which is just corporate outfits. Instead of you to come on our page, you'll be looking for check. You will not even see the corporate. Maybe you'll be seeing party wears. If you are a party wear gang, you only say party wear. We make you be the life of the party. Those are things. So what's your positioning statement? What is that thing that helps you stand out? So if you are a website person, you create website, or we help you create website that keeps you professional and build credibility. We help coaches who wants to, who struggle with credibility and all. create professional websites that help them build credibility, or like other brands, that just or like other brands that are only focused on the design of your website. We are actually focused on the uniqueness of your message, or we also focus on your brand messaging, or on the content of your site, or whatever thing you want to put as your positioning statement. You see how you've been able to differentiate yourself. Most web developers that I've seen, they only know how to design. They don't know how to put good content on this page, and I dread them. If I want to work with a web developer, I have to create my content by myself. So if it's something that you can do, put that as a positioning statement to help you stand out. All right, so that's it. If you're a videographer, a video editor, if you know how to create good scripts for the videos, add it to it as a positioning statement. We don't just help you create videos, we also help you create a message that your audience can understand, that your audience can buy into in your videos. You have set yourself apart. You're not just creating videos for people anymore. You're like everybody that is shooting. Your own is just to come, okay, what is the video idea? Let's shoot. Let me edit. Oh yeah, take your video, bam. That's it. No. So that is the position. Then the last thing is your story. Now, a lot of people do not key into this story a lot. Your story, your brand story. I'm not going to say so much about storytelling, because storytelling is not really my thing. But I know what storytelling is. I use it in my brand. I use it in my business. I even have a section in my 14-day challenge where we also create your stories for you, right? I brought my friend's course into it. She talks about business storytelling masterclass that shows you in depth of storytelling. But that's not the idea of what I'm saying. So every brand has a story. You have a story to tell. You started selling footwear stuff. What are the things that brought you to that point that made you start selling footwear things? What are those things that brought you to that point? Write all of these stories out. Write them out. Oh, this is what I actually saw that made me start selling footwear. Oh, I saw these things. Oh, what actually made me build this my brand? Now, if you look at famous brands that you like and love, if you look back, they all have stories to tell. Coca-Cola has their story. You can Google it. You see different stories that Coca-Cola has to tell. Stories about the brand itself. Story about the customer. Story about the products. Story about things that are happening. Even Apple has their own stories, So you that are selling footwear, you can tell story. So tell a story of maybe when somebody that you know was struggling to find their outfits or the right size for them. Tell a story of somebody who came to you guys and they bought from you people. What was the process like? Tell a story of why you started your brand. These are things that will help you stand out, because nobody can have your story. Nobody can experience it, even if you are the same father, the same mother. That's why it is called the DNA of your business. In science, I studied biochemistry. In science, there is no two person that has the exact DNA combination. Even identical twins self. It's always very rare for you to see identical twins that has the exact DNA combination. There must be a difference. You might have the same experiences, the same background, the same education, but the combination cannot be the same. You cannot have somebody who have the exact experience as you, exact education, exact belief, exact background, exact aspiration. They cannot have that combination as you. There is nobody on this planet Earth that has the exact combination of all of these things as you do. That is what now makes you different through your story. So these beliefs, these things, share them through your story. And in this conversation, I've been sharing my story. I've been chipping it in small, where I talked about teaching people. That's my story. It was short, but then it's a story that I had to share. I have also talked about how my aunt don't listen to me. That's a story, but it's just I didn't go deep. But I can turn that into a very big story and turn it into a post. I'll turn it into an ad. I'll turn it into an email. I can turn that into anything. Write that story, and tie it back to my product and tell you the lessons that are inside. So every story that you want to write, make sure the story has a lesson to learn. Either it's a lesson that ties to your product, or that ties to what your brand or whatever thing you are offering, right? And make sure the story has like the character. What is this? Make sense of it. Like, how does this story relate to whatever thing that you are doing? All right. So your story cannot be exactly the same thing as whoever. If I line up 5 people here that are selling footwear right now, if I ask this one, why did you start selling footwear? You have different experiences. If I ask 5 of you, you tell me different reasons why you started selling footwear. That is your story, and you have to own it. You have to own it. If I tell you, okay, what experiences have you had with customers as a footwear brand? Those 5 of you will tell me different things entirely. You cannot be exactly the same thing. Why not be juju they do? If I ask you what experiences, what are the observations that you've seen about things? You know, what experiences that you've had personally to do with these things that you're doing? It cannot be the same thing. That is what sets you apart. That is what lives beyond you. Because by the time you start sharing this story, you will start attracting people who understand this story. You start attracting people who can relate to this story, to your brand. And you start creating this idea of your brand in their mind. And that is how you build a brand that lives you. That is why when you think about Coca-Cola, when you think about on Netflix, when you think about Apple, when you think about this product, they have created an idea in your mind through either their storytelling, their positioning, their messaging, all of these things that we've talked about. By exemplifying or implementing their values, all of these things that we've mentioned so far, you've been able to buy into the idea. Why will Apple come and then they'll make iPhone 14? Then they make iPhone 14 Pro Max. And the difference between iPhone 14 and 14 Pro Max might just be maybe camera. Or it might just be that maybe they even added one extra circle in the back. And they sell it at a more expensive rate. Why will you be buying it? So it's not necessarily about the product, but it's the idea that Apple has put into your mind, has put into your brain, like, oh, this is it. This product is for people who, I even know somebody that every new iPhone that comes out, they go and buy it. They go and look for money to buy every new iPhone that comes out. Like, if maybe they're using iPhone 14 before and then 14 Pro Max come, they're already saving money to go and buy 14 Pro Max. They are done with 14. Because of the idea that Apple has put into your head. You know, all of these things. That's why. So all of this is there beyond just the product. Yes, the product adds to it. That's why I said in the beginning, the formula for creating a brand that leaves you is 4P. 4 P's times your business DNA. The product, the price, the promotion, and the placing and the placement are important, but the most important is your business DNA. That's what differentiates you from everybody else. Because I can get pricing. Look at Apple, look at other brands, look at Samsung, look at other Android products. Samsung is not even, rubbing shoulder with Apple when it comes to pricing, placements, all of these things. But what they are not there yet is the idea, is the DNA of the business. What Apple is built around. That is what those other brands don't have yet. Samsung has their own, Tecno has their own, Redmi has their own. They have their own DNA and they are excelling, they are successful in that way. But because of the DNA of Apple, Apple is attracting another breed of humans, another breed of human beings to come and buy their products. So that's it. That's it basically, and that's everything that will help you. That's why if you see people they write the worth of their brand, I say my brand is worth $270,000. It's not necessarily because of the product that they have. They may not even have any product safe yet, but because they know that, oh, we have built this thing. When we have built this thing in the mind of people, or when we implement this thing in the mind of people, this is what this business is going to be worth. This business will be able to generate this thing this business is going to generate this amount, and that is the worth of it. Not necessarily because of the product that we are going to be creating. So that's how you create a brand that outlives you. Now, to cement everything, when you have all of these things, you know your audience, you have the impact, your values are intact, your positioning statement, your story, your personality, and everything are intact, and you're exemplifying this in your culture, in your experiences that you create for your audience, in the way you package your product, in the way you put yourself out there. How do you cement all of these things? The way you cement it is focus plus consistency over time. This will produce a brand that lives forever. Focus plus consistency over time. So the focus, the consistency, and timing comes after. Now let's take Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola has dominated the soft drink industry today by staying focused. They have one product as in I will explain, and consistent over time with their brand DNA. and they stay true to their personality. Coca-Cola has been consistent over time with their brand DNA, which are the things that I've explained so far. And that is one thing that has made Coca-Cola where they are today. And other brands that you know as well. Right? So Coca-Cola emphasizing the refreshing qualities of Coca-Cola and the positive emotions that the drink can evoke. They also suggest that Coca-Cola is more than just a beverage. It is a way to connect with others and make memories. Coca-Cola's brand message has evolved over the years. I'll come back to that. But the core message has remained the same. Coca-Cola is a refreshing drink that can make moments more special. The company's focus on sustainability is a new addition to the brand message, but it is still consistent with the company's overall goal of making a positive impact on the world. Now, some of you might now say, this is where I said, so your brand message can evolve. You can always tweak it. For me, for example, my brand messaging has always been monetization, helping people make money, and all of those things. Before now, the way I used to communicate my brand message, my monetization brand message, was that, oh, I help you launch an online course. I help you launch a digital product. With that, I will help you monetize. But now, my brand, my goal is still the same thing, monetization, but my brand message has evolved. Now, my brand message is, I help you get clarity first, walk you inside out, so that you'll be able to now monetize through online courses and your services, your programs, whatever thing you want to monetize. So you see how my brand message still focuses on that monetization, that making money, and all of those things. But it has evolved. It didn't change per se, but it has evolved over the last couple of years. That is where the whole focus, consistency, over time will produce a brand that lives forever. I don't know if that makes sense. All right, so I'm way behind time. So in summary, the value of your brand is not how much your products are worth. It's not how much your product are worth. It's not how many followers you have. It's not how much you have in your bank accounts for your brand right now. But it is more of the culture, the experiences, the vision, right, that you put into people. It is more of the idea that you've sold into people. That is the value of your brand. And that is how you can build a brand that will outlive you. All right? So with that being said, I think I'm done with this presentation. All right.
Wow. What a very electric section. It was very, very electric. Wow, thank you so much for this amazing insight. Like, you've really shared a lot to us about brand culture, about you knowing your audience really. Like, I kept writing, and I am really overwhelmed. Thank you, Steve. Guys, please help me drop thank you on the chat box immediately. This has been a really insightful and amazing session. Thank you so much, ma'am, for impacting us at the Business Shift Summit 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, okay, we are getting a lot of people right now on the chat box. Oh, this is amazing. Okay, so guys, we're going to quickly ask.
All right, so if you're here on Instagram and you've been asking for the brand archetype link, all right, after this live session, go and check my story. I'll put the link to the brand archetype on my Instagram story. All right, I'll put the link to the brand archetype, the specific one that is well explained on my Instagram story. Okay, so you go there and go and watch it. You go to my story immediately after this live session to access the link.
So we have Dempsey says thank you. Emily says thank you. Rex says thank you. Monica says thank you. Learned so much about brand personality. Amazing. Duem says thank you so much, our dearest digital creator Chick. Amazing. So guys, if you do not have any questions, anyways, I'm going to ask my own question. I'm going to ask my own. Okay. I think I have some questions here.
Okay.
He said, how can I build a new niche that lasts? A new niche.
A new niche.
Yeah.
What do you mean by what niche are you in right now? So you are talking about transitioning. So maybe you should give me more depth. Building a new niche that lasts. What niche are you in right now? Okay, in graphics design. So what are you looking to transition into? Smartphone graphics design. It's already similar. Everything that I've explained in this session is how you can build a niche that lasts. So now you've been doing general graphics design before. Now you now want to be more specific to smartphone graphics design. You want to be more specific to smartphone graphics design. The simple question is starting from, who do you want to serve? How do you want to serve these people? The entire process I've just walked you through is what you need to now tailor your niche. So whether you're already an existing brand, or you're even a brand that just wants to start, you want to start your business, right? This process I just walked you through is everything that you need.
That's amazing. So Ayomide, if you're thinking of niching down, just follow these processes, understand who you want to serve, your brand story, and everything, and then
yes,
you'll be able to understand, okay, this is exactly what I need to do to build this brand in such a way that it will really, really outlive me.
And
right?
Focus on the impact. So don't just say, oh, I help you with smartphone photography. What is the impact that your smartphone photography is doing for people? So for example, let me talk about the sorry about that. Let me talk about the audience you're targeting. Let's say you're doing this smartphone photography because you are trying to target people. Maybe you're trying to help people who you're trying to teach people. For example, let me say that's the audience you're trying to target, or one of the audience. People who do not have access to laptop, right? And they want to be able to at least find a skill for themselves. Because most skills these days, people say you need a laptop to be able to do these skills, to do web development, this one. But with smartphone graphic design, right, you don't need that. You just need your smartphone. Almost everybody has their smartphone in their hands, right? That could be the audience that you want to target. The audience that do not really have access to anything else except their smartphone. I want to let them understand that they can actually learn a lucrative skill like graphic design using their smartphone. Now that's the audience. So where do you find this audience? You just follow the process like that. And then your messaging will be, your impact is not just going to be, I'm teaching you how to use graphic design on your phone. No. What is the impact? When they learn how to use graphic design on their phone, what is the impact? What is the result it's bringing to them as a business or as a person? So that's then you follow the steps like that, and that's it.
Wow. Thank you. Wow. They say wow. Like, oh my goodness. Wow. Thank you so much. Woo! You are loaded. You are really. Oh my God. I've even forgotten the question I wanted to ask.
Don't forget to ask me.
So guys, do you have any other question, or do we call it a night? Do you have any other question, or do we call it a night? Okay, before we get wow, we're getting some questions here. Let me just quickly check it out. Shikezie is saying, thank you so much for the wealth of knowledge shared. My question is, I am building a brand in buildings glass industry.
Buildings glass industry, what do you do in a sentence? Tell me what you do. Buildings glass industry, that's kind of weird. But it's not weird, like it's kind of like vague. So what do you do particularly?
You can unmute yourself and talk.
Yes, is the person talking?
No, I don't think that's the person.
Okay, we sell and install glasses in buildings. Amazing, very good. It's very good. It's very easy. I'm building. So my question is, this is not even a question. My question is, I'm building a brand in buildings glass industry. So what's the question? Now I'm even reading it again now. So what's the question? Are you asking that? How do you create your brand? How do I craft my brand story? Okay, amazing. So if you're talking about brand story, you install glasses in buildings, right? So now, for example, let's now look at the glasses you install. What kind of glasses do you install? What kind of glasses do you install? Right? Mirrors. What kind of mirrors? Is it doors, windows? Windows, okay, window mirrors, right? So now let's look at it. Okay, let's look at it. So your question is about the brand story, right? So let's look at it. You install Windows, right? So your Windows that you are installing, okay, what made you started installing Windows for people? Do you have like a personal story? Maybe because when you started learning the skill and then you just found yourself started doing this. That's one part of stories that you can. Frameless shop fronts. Okay, people are saying a lot of things right now in the DM, but people are saying a lot of things in the comment now, but let me focus on this. So you install Windows for people, right? So what led you to this point? So think back. What experiences has led you to this point that you started installing Windows for people? What lessons, what stories, what experience can you pick from it? Just make a list of those experiences, right? And then also, what have you observed from customers that has come to you? Maybe when you want to fix window for somebody now, what are the complaints that people have made? Oh, I better go upset this window now. If you put them, they're not going to see me from inside. They're not going to see my nakedness. All those kind of things. Or, oh, hope if you put this window is going to last. If they throw something on it, it will not just break. Those can be experiences of your customers, right? And then also people that you've worked with. What are the feedback that they've given to you based on these windows that you fixed, right? And then another thing, what have you observed when it comes to installing windows in houses, right? That's how you can craft different stories from all of these things. Now, if you want to create your brand around this, it's even very easy. Which kind of window get class? So I don't see windows where we say the same window that somebody will pay 25K to install. Another person can pay like almost 150,000. Window get class. So the same way, if you follow through this process like I've just explained, what audience, what kind of window are you installing? What audiences, what class of people are actually going to see office windows? There's also different types. There's house windows, there's office windows. Is it office and houses? So if you are targeting houses, you'll be more family centric. The way you show up, the experiences you provide will be more family centric. If you want to be targeting both offices and houses, you'll be combined, both family and organization centric. Like, how does this window serve these different people at different points, right? How does this window serve a family? How does this window serve an organization? It serves them at different points, and you can take different stories from all of these things that I've just said. I don't know if that answers the question, but yeah.
Yes, it really did. It really did. For me, yeah, it did. Well, let us know. So we have a lot. Okay, yeah, he says yes, ma'am. Beautiful. So we have a lot of questions, but I'll just take two and then we'll call it a day. So the baby is asking, although this class
There's boarding in progress.
The baby is saying, although this class is not about monetization, right? But I coach people and I write mainly on relationship, and I have so much passion about it. But my problem is how to monetize this. I am tired of helping people free of charge and only getting praise while my pocket remains empty.
Okay. Okay, so I like this question. Although this class is not about monetization, but I coach people and write mainly on relationship, right? And I have so much passion about it. So but your problem here is you attract freeloaders. So how do you stop attracting freeloaders? The very first step that you need to stop attracting freeloaders is what I've gone through with you in this class. Now, the second step, after you've gone through these steps, the second step is to offer clarity. Offer clarity. Now, this is why. Even if you are new, or maybe you are not new, if you are not teaching people how to pay you, they won't pay you. If you just keep coming up, sharing content, sharing free. If you see Chijams on his WhatsApp status, after he share free, Chijams will sell to you. You think Chijams doesn't know what he's doing? Right? You think he doesn't know what he's doing? He could have just been saying, oh, this is how to use your WhatsApp very well. Oh yeah, do this, do that. And everybody will say, oh, I learned a lot. And they will just sit down, bump me. If they want to know more about WhatsApp, they will not come and ask him. Because you did not sell it, you did not tell them how you can help them. So after you've gone through this process, you will not sit down and say, okay, now I know my audience. Now I know how I want to serve them. Now I have the clarity on how I want to position myself as a brand. Now I have all of this set up. My business DNA is intact. I have the idea I want to sell into people's mind, right? The next thing is, how do I break this down into products that can solve problems for my audience? So whether you have clients already, you are new, you are old, you don't have clients before, you have to do this. Create possible things that you believe that can solve problems for your audience. So let me use the relationship niche that you're in now, for example. So tell me what your relationship thing is all about, so that I can just tailor this answer to you specifically. So it's going to be useful to you. So let's say the relationship thing you do is, tell me real quick. Let me not guess, so that this answer will be tailored to you and you find it very useful. I don't want to guess what your niche. You're in the relationship. So what do you do when it comes to just a relationship? Can the person type that real fast or say that? Can the person say that? Can the person say?
I don't think.
Okay, the person is not here, but so let me just guess. So let me say the relationship part that you're focused on is helping couples. What was coming to my head? Okay, maybe the relationship part you're focusing on is helping couples find bliss in their marriage, right? Helping couples find bliss in their marriage. So now you're not going to ask yourself, since I know that it's couples that I want to serve, what are couples struggling with, right? So you look for the different things. You do survey, you interview different people, you do social hearing. What are the observations you've seen that couples are struggling with? Okay, I coach people how to choose right partners. Amazing, very good. Let me come back. So it's still around couples, right? You coach people how to choose the right partners and build healthy relationship. Very beautiful. This is the solution that you provide. This is the impact that your business provide. So now you use this impact and walk through everything that I've walked you through in this session. Then you now create offers. What are the different ways? What are the different solutions you can provide to help people achieve this result? Maybe it could be, now you have to think that your audience are in different categories. Not everybody may be able to afford your coaching. Not everybody will want a course. Not everybody will want an ebook. You can now ask yourself that, okay, with coaching you can coach people in different areas. So create your different coaching programs. So I have different coaching programs for people who want to work with me. I have a coaching program where if you just want to pick my brain, like you have general questions about monetization, launching, about branding, everything in general, I have a 40-minute session where you can just pay and ask me all those questions. I'll walk you through and I'll create a plan for you in 40 minutes. I have the one for 1 hour, 30 minutes. I have 4 weeks deep dive where I'll walk you through everything I've taught you guys here, but on a deeper level. We'll do the research together. We'll do the analysis together. We'll come up with all of the messaging and everything together in 4 weeks. Now, you see how these different coaching products are serving different audiences, but it's still the same result. But it's different audience. So I understood my audience. There's not everybody that can afford this, and it's not everybody that are at this point where they need the entire thing. So people just need answer on the go, like, oh, I just need to clarify this thing. I just need to talk to you. I don't want that 4 weeks deep dive. I think I have that clarity, but I think I'm just stuck in a particular place. So because I understand that for my audience, I've created all of this. Then I have courses, self-paced courses and programs. There are people who already have clarity. They just want to know how to launch their online course. I have an online course that teaches you how to launch your online course. They are the ones who like, oh, I have this, I have all of this in there, but I don't want to communicate this thing in words. I have a course that shows you how to write with words, how to communicate everything you have through your content, through your words, through your ads, through your sales page copies. I have all of those things. So everything is still tying back to monetization, but they are solving different people for different of my audience segments, right? Because they are not in the same point. So it's not takes for you to sit down and create different of these things that solve different problems for your audience. That's why if you see Coca-Cola, we have zero Coke. We have Coke that have sugar. All of them, Coke is still portraying one message. Oh, share the moments with your family and people that you love. That's the message that Coke is still portraying. But then they are serving it in different ways. For people who like sugar, they will go for the one with sugar. The one that don't like sugar, because you don't like sugar does not mean that you cannot share that moment. That's why they have zero Coke. So you see how you look at the different problems that others are solving, even though you are solving the same problem, but they are different levels. So you create all of these things, create all of these products. And as you are providing value, as you are letting people know that, oh, this is who I am, this is what my brand is about, this is how I can help, this is how I can help you, this is how I can help you, you have to now also be teaching them and telling them, This is the solution. So I have given you this free value. If you want more, this is the solution that I have. You have to start selling yourself. Start teaching them to buy from you. That's like the overview I can give for this answer. It goes deeper than this. But yeah, that's like the best way I can explain it. But I hope that this helps you to an extent.
Wow. Oh my goodness. This is amazing. This is so amazing. Thank you so much. Oh, the baby is saying thank you so much. Should we just take one more question? Should we take one more question?
Okay, one more question, then we'll go. Because if we stay here, we'll sleep here.
People are asking for recorded section. There is no recorded section. If you want to see, I'm going deeper now. If you want record, you will pay. If you pay for the recording, it's not free anymore. Oh my God, this is amazing. So, someone is asking. Okay, I think that's all. That's all.
Okay.
We have. Okay. They say, how can we connect with you? Please share.
I'm on Instagram as Digital Creator Chick. HTTPS Instagram.com / let me just put it in the chat. Digital Creator Chick. But if you search Digital Creator Chick, I will come out. I'm not hard to find. But let me just, yeah, Digital Creator Chick _ Digital Creator Chick. Yeah, that's me on Instagram. HTTP Instagram.com / Digital Creator Chick. I'm not hard to find. You easily find me. Just search Digital Creator Chick. You find me there. It's not hard to find me on Instagram. Yeah, so that's who I am. So I have one question. I'm actually live on Instagram. So I have one question from my Instagram people. If you don't mind, maybe I can answer that as well.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so the question is, so if you offer different services, how do you position yourself? Do you position yourself based on just one of the services? I think I have kind of answered this in a way. So you're not positioning yourself based on your services. You're positioning yourself based on the impact. So for example, I help people launch online courses. I help people sell their services. You know, I also go beyond that. I also do sales pages. I also do funnels. Those are different things that they are not really relating to themselves. But how I tie it together is the impact. The impact of everything I do is to help you get clarity so that you can monetize your expertise, your online programs. And that covers the services of sales funnel, sales pages, online course launches, copywriting. It covers brand clarity, selling your services and monetization. So you see how I did not list all of these skills that I have one by one individually, but I tie them to an impact, a general impact that can cover all of them. So it is my product. It is my product that will now showcase the different ways that I achieve this impact, like I've explained. So your products can now be online course, launch course, copywriting course, content writing course, monetization course, just like that. But when you are communicating your brand message, you are focusing on the impact that the entire skills that you have, you know, can solve for that audience, and then you can now spread it into different products that you can sell.
Wow, thank you so much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is where we end this particular section. The next section is coming up 8 p.m. today. And oh my God, it has really been amazing. Now, before we go, I want to introduce you guys to a new project we are launching. It's called Project 1000. The goal of Project 1000 is to teach.
All right, guys. So, any questions from here again before we go from Instagram? I hope you guys have learned a lot. Amazing. I hope you guys have learned a lot from this session, and you guys really enjoyed this session. All right, so if there's no more question, I'm going to end the live session.
More, help me thank her once more, because really amazing. Wow, it has really been an amazing session. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much. It has really...
So guys, before I go, if you really like to work with me to learn the breakdown on how this works, right? I have a 14-day challenge that's coming in October. It's called the Grow Challenge, right? You can join the wait list and you get a discount when you join the wait list. So everything I've taught you guys today, this is just a tips on the iceberg. How they speak it? How does they speak it? A tips on the iceberg. Iceberg on the tips, whatever. So this is a tips on the iceberg. Everything I've explained here today. In the 14 days, I am going to be working with you, with everybody that will join the Grow Challenge that's coming in October, and work with you to find your brand clarity, find your personal clarity, how to create your offers and your products, to position you, even to creating how you can show up, your brand pillars, how you can show up. I will explain all of these things. The way we do it, you have documentation, implementation, documents, and tasks where you go and implement it. I review them and I show you how you can go and start implementing it in your business, to your Instagram, your website, your products, everything, even to your customer experiences, everything. Just think of it as like your brand revamp and brand strategy. Everything in the Grow Challenge in 14 days. So if you want to know what the Grow Challenge is really about, right, you can check it out on bits.ly. Let me put it there. https bits.ly/the Grow Challenge. Everything you need to know about what we'll be covering in that 14 days is on that page. https bits.ly/the Grow Challenge. Everything you need to know. So join the wait list so that you'll be able to get a discount for the event for the cohorts that is coming in October. Is a cohort base. It's not like I do it all the time. I did the last one in April and I'm doing the last one for the year in October. So join the wait list if you know that you've been attracting freeloaders, or you've been saying, oh, I don't know what to post, I don't know how to show up, I'm always confused, I'm always stuck, like I don't know what to do with my business. Then go use that link and go and join the wait list for the Grow Challenge, and I'll see you guys right there. Yeah, thank you, Chijams.
Oh my goodness, it has just been amazing. Guys, please.
So if you're watching here from Instagram, you can join the wait list from the for the Grow Challenge using the link in my bio. If you just go to the link in my bio, you see it right there. Join the wait list for the Grow Challenge. And then finally, I will drop the brand archetype link on my story. So make sure you check my story immediately after this live session.
All right. So don't miss it. The link will be shared on the group right now, and then we'll have a great time together. Do have a wonderful evening.
So everybody,
I'll see you guys in 30 minutes. Bye again.
So guys, that's all from me, and I'll see you guys. So go and join the waitlist for the Grow Challenge if you believe that this is something that you really need in your business. You need clarity on monetizing, you have multiple skills and you don't know how to turn them into an impact, to turn them into one thing, so that you're not confusing your audience and you're not confusing yourself. The link is on my bio to join the Grow Challenge. So with that being said, bye bye, see you guys.